Good morning, everyone. It is April 1st. No April Fools. I am standing up, and this is not, the desk is not jerry rigged on Jenga, cubes, which is amazing. So Mr. Mo got my desk set up. So now I'm all discombobulated because I'm like, I'm standing. I'm standing. Yay. Which is something weird. Thank you, Eris, for doing all the mod stuff. Good morning, Christine and Cynthia and Janie J79 and Tammy and Squid Pro Quo, Lefty, Phoenix, M Young. Sorry you have to go to work. Hey Joe, Jude, Slinky, Tammy Bogart, Puzzled Puzzler. I know I've got the little thing and it goes up and down, but my most fabulous Amazon thing is the F octopus, which I believe is the most amazingly brilliant thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So once I figure out how to lift my cube thing up and put the lights on, we will see the F octopus. And welcome, Dan, for your first time here. You get to see the F octopus. So, always a banner moment, always a banner one. And I've got one more thing. Well, a couple more. So, no decor in Mo's house would be complete without well, a candle with upstretched finger and emotional support dumplings. So, of course, Mr. Mo's like, "So, did you actually just only buy toys for your office?" And I was like, "Well, that is something that I cannot tell you right now due to my lawyer saying that that's incriminating." But I've got all the things going, so now it's just figuring out how to, deal with a desk that doesn't have drawers when my other ones did, and now I have just piles of random randomness all over my room. So, we will be liberating I know, this sculptural art speaks to all of us, and I feel like that the F octopus is, beautiful and lovely. Yes, they are tax deductions, they go towards my office thing, but he's just like, "Really? The F octopus?" I was like, "Look, I only bought 1, I didn't buy all 5." They did have different colors, so I did, exercise prudence a little bit, not by much. But speaking of cruddy days uh, I think they're about $9, Twisted Logic, and they've got different colors. So you definitely I think they should work out sponsorship with me. I would be the best seller of the F octopus, I do believe. But speaking of kind of crappy days, a United Airlines flight had to make a U-turn after the toilet just started a leaking, as you do. This flagrant situation wasn't going to fly. A United Airlines flight abruptly turned around when a broken toilet said contents of a waste tank flowing into the passenger cabin. Talk about a crappy way to start a flight. I know. That sounds weird though, twisted logic. I don't Influencer sounds like so pretentious. It does. But the United Flight 59 took off from Frankfurt, Germany Friday afternoon and was supposed to land in San Francisco before it made a U-turn a couple hours into the trip, Yulin outlet Bild reported. Er, The contents of at least one of the toilets was pushed up from the tank and overflowed, the publication reported. While the flight crew attempted to figure out the problem on the Boeing 777, and if it could be fixed, the plane circled over the North Sea before finally returning to Frankfurt Airport, according to Bild. Good night, nurse. Nope. Between panels falling off and poop explosions, I am no more flying for me. I will just drive. My friends over in Europe will have to figure out that bridge thing. though bridges seem scary now too, so I don't know. On Friday, March 29th, United Flight 59 returned to Frankfurt following a maintenance issues with one of the aircraft's lavatory, a United Airlines spokesperson told the U.S. Sun. Passengers were given hotel rooms for the night and rebooked on other flights the following day. I hope y'all gave them a lot of Purell too, like not like just a gallon, like all the Lysol wipes, and let them burn their clothes. And God forbid you are wearing Crocs or flip-flops on this flight. May Jesus have been with you. The Post was or has reached out for comment from the airline. United has had a string of troubling incidents in the recent weeks, including Friday when several passengers on a flight from Israel to Newark were hospitalized after the plane was forced to divert to New York Stewart International Airport in Orange County because of high winds. Earlier in March, a Japan-bound United flight took off from San Francisco and was diverted to LAX because the Boeing plane lost a tire after taking off. Y'all, I'm just saying, maybe the airways are not as safe as we thought. United CEO Scott Kirby recently attempted to reassure flyers that the airline carrier was safe amidst the numerous issues. I would hate to be his PR person. And good morning, AC's Wildflower. Quote, safety is our highest priority. It's at the center of everything we do, Kirby said in a letter sent to United customers earlier this month. Unfortunately, in the past few weeks, our airplanes have experienced a number of incidents that are reminders of the importance of safety. Well, I mean, you're doing a kind of crappy job, quite literally, Your Honors. Just saying. If you move to Florida, people are feeling the heat. They no longer want to be in Florida. It's almost like they didn't do research. If you're going to move to a new place, each place has issues. Florida transplants fleeing in droves over relentless heat and damaging hurricanes. Interesting. Apparently, no one read the brochure about Florida. The grass is apparently not greener in Florida. Thousands of Florida transplants who moved to the Sunshine State during the, virus of unknown origins of which we are not allowed to speak are packing up to move elsewhere, complaining of the relentless heat, damaging hurricanes, and dangerous wildlife. Y'all, I could have told you this in like 5 seconds. Gators, pythons, and gator pythons that have mullets that drink Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's about all we find. Y'all have not seen Florida Man memes? I mean, hello. Hello. I feel like this is not something that's newsworthy. More than 700,000 people were drawn by the promise of sunny weather, no income tax, and lower cost and began moving to Florida in 2022, including 90,000 from New York State, according to a census data cited by NBC News. But nearly 500,000 gave up with Florida and left in 2022, according to NBC News, which interviewed several disillusioned transplant who decided to head back north. One of them was New Yorker Louis Rotakowitz, who lasted 2 years in the state. Quote, like every good New Yorker, this is where you want to go, the physician told NBC News by phone while driving to his new home in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a complete fallacy. He said that he and his wife bought a home in West Palm Beach area where they decided to pursue a more relaxing, affordable lifestyle. You went to West Palm Beach to do that? I could have told you that was wrong. He landed a job as an emergency care doctor and his wife became a teacher. But Ratalskowitz soon realized that was a mistake. I had a good salary, but we were barely making ends meet. You went to West Palm Beach. I mean, had you gone to, BFE, Florida, you'd have made it out just fine. You went to hoity-toityville. Seems like a personal issue. We were barely making ends meet. We had zero quality of life, he told the outlet. The doc said that the traffic commute was a nightmare. Their cost of their homeowners association fees had doubled, and he felt unsafe after the state passed a law allowing people to wear force multipliers without a license. Everyone is walking around here with force multipliers, he told NBC News. I consider myself a conservative guy, but if you want to carry a force multiplier, you should be licensed. There should be some sort of process. Kind of against the Second Amendment, but okay. Jody Cummins, who moved to Palm Beach area from Connecticut in 2021, shared a similar story. It isn't the utopia on any level I thought it would be, Cummins told the outlet. I thought Florida would be an easier lifestyle. I thought the pace would be a little quieter. I thought it would be warmer. It's West Palm Beach. Y'all went to the most peoply place ever. I feel like that's a you issue, not a Florida issue. Although you still did choose to go to America's Freedom Dong, so by all means, commune with the pythons. I didn't expect it to be literally 100 degrees at night. It was incredibly difficult to make friends, and it was expensive, very expensive, she said, adding that she thought she would make more money as a private chef due to the lack of income tax. Again, you are going to one of the more expensive areas expecting to make money. No. Homeowners insurance rates in Florida spiked 42% last year to an average of $6,000 a year, and car insurance is more than 50% higher than the national average. According to NBC News, which cited the Insurance Information Institute. Now, that's got more to do with insurance companies being a-holes than actual risk assessments for Florida. Florida is also one of the more expensive states to buy a home, with prices up 60% since 2020 to an average of $388,500, according to Zillow. Everyone wanted to go there. So, yes, things are going to shake up. Economy, demand goes up, supply is limited. Things are going to be more expensive because everyone wants to live there. After 6 months, Cummins had decided she'd had enough with the high cost of car insurance, rent, and food, as well as the traffic and searing temps. I was so disenchanted with Florida so quickly, she told NBC News. There was this feeling of confusion and guilt about wanting to leave, of moving there and realizing it isn't anything like I thought it would be. Meanwhile, Barb Carter has decided to head back to Kansas after a year of living in Florida, where she sold her home in Orlando area at a $40,000 loss and left her children and grandchildren behind. Among the reasons she cited were the armadillo infestation. The armadillo wait. Florida, I'm gonna need you to not become the Australia of America because you already have gators and pythons, but now you have marauding armadillo? What the hell? Holy cow, Florida. That caused $9,000 in damages. Hurricane Ian, which destroyed the roof on her 62nd birthday, and the inability to find a surgeon to remove a tumor from her liver. So many people ask, why would you move back to Kansas? I tell them all the same thing. You've got to take your vacation goggles off, Carter told the outlet. For me, it was very falsely promoted. Once living there, I thought, this isn't all you guys have cracked it up to be at all, she said. It's called do your research before you move, for the love of all that is holy. Y'all, just do your research. Again, Florida hot. Yes. Florida sticky. Yes. Florida gators and people, and West Palm Beach is super expensive. These are not things that are hidden on the internet. You can, in fact, find these things out before you box your entire life and move your ass down to Florida. So, while I feel bad for some people that feel like they were, maybe told a little bit different, it's still kind of a thing you have to do your own research about. A bunch of kids raced to collect marshmallows from a helicopter that dumped them in the Detroit area. Now, my kids would have loved this. A bunch of marshmallows falling from the sky, that would have been hilarious. It rained marshmallows at a suburban Detroit park on Friday as children raced to snatch up thousands of the gooey treats being dropped from a helicopter. Knowing my luck, my boys would eat them after they touched the ground because, boys. The annual Great Marshmallow Drop took place at Catlapa Catalpa Oaks Country Park in Southfield, hosted by Oakland County Parks. Hundreds of children waved and cheered as the helicopter passed by on its way to the drop zone. Once there, a passenger jumped the treats out of a sack and onto the grass below, and children darted to collect them. Officials stressed that though the fluffy treats were tempting, they must not be eaten because they hit the ground. Instead, kids can exchange the marshmallows they collected for a prize bag containing candy, a coloring book, and a one-day pass to a water park. Speaking before the event, Melissa Nawrocki, Oakland County Recreation Program Supervisor, said that 15,000 marshmallows would be dropped. It was just a celebration. The weather was beautiful, so we were happy to get outdoors and interact and pick up some marshmallows, said Robin Keene, the mother of 3 Great Marshmallow Drop participants, one who took place in a special drop reserved for children with disabilities. The helicopter made 4 passes, dropping marshmallows aimed at kids in 3 age categories: 4-year-olds and youngers, 5 to 7-year-olds, and those 8 to 12-year-old. Drops for children with disabilities came later in the day. Being a special needs mom, I love seeing events that are catered toward him so he doesn't feel excluded. So that makes a good story. I mean, I'm glad that they had different age things and they let, kids with developmental or neurodivergence go to their own section so they didn't get, sometimes egg hunts can be combat egg hunts. So I'm glad that they got all of that figured out. Although my kids would still eat the marshmallows once they touch the ground, to be real with you all. I'm not gonna eat pork rinds anymore, because what the actual heck? Yikes. And a 68-year-old woman ingests a nail while eating pork rinds. A Peruvian woman was eating pork rinds when she suddenly felt an object stuck in her throat. After vomiting blood, she was sent to the emergency room thinking she had swallowed a bone, but it was something far more dangerous. Celia Tello, 80 or 68, had to undergo a surgery to remove the object, which doctors told Reuters turned out to be a nail that was piercing one of her carotid arteries. I'm sure you don't need a carotid artery, I'm sure. Sure, you'll be fine. Just fine. This is why I'll stick with Pringles. Just kidding. Blood vessels that the Cleveland Clinic say are, quote, vital part of your circulatory system. Well, I think everything is vital to your circulatory system, so don't get it perforated. There is a carotid artery on each side of your neck, each splitting into 2 branches to help blood supply to your neck and head. It would never have crossed my mind that this was a nail or piece of wire, Tolo told Reuters in Spanish. Surgeon Diego Kupali told Reuters that doctors had to conduct a, quote, careful dissection to remove the nail and that there was a risk of a clot detaching that would reach the brain. Y'all, snack foods are trying to kill us, either quickly or not so quickly. That's why I'm trying to stay away from the stores right now, because, all the Easter stuff is on sale, and I have a sale addiction. It's bad. Mr. Mo's like, stay away. We don't need a bunch of Peeps, even if they are 50% off. We don't need to stock up for the apocalypse. And I was like, how do you know? Have you seen the news this year? We might need a stable source of Peeps. I'm just saying. They need to make Peeps vodka. Actually, strike that. I need to make Peeps vodka. We were able to isolate the affected artery, and we repaired it by sectioning it, and we joined the healthy artery with another healthy artery, the doctor said in Spanish. The incident occurred last month, and Tello has healed since. Now all that remains is a large scar on her neck from the procedure. This is not the first time random or dangerous objects have turned up in someone's food. Last year, stainless steel was found in peanut butter, and bone fragments were found in smoked sausage, leading to massive food recalls. Hmm. It's almost like if we didn't have kids, maybe working in factories, unlegally, we'd find these things. It's just a thought. I bought Starburst jelly beans the other day, left them in a cabinet at work, so there's I love that. The FDA has cautioned that some food contamination is expected, saying it's economically impractical to avoid some non-hazardous, naturally occurring, unavoidable defects. I'm going to go ahead and throw out there like a human nail. I could sort of see. I'd still be really, really grossed out. But a nail? No, that's a negative, Knight Rider. I will be suing. In this douche face, a high school uh, football player allegedly bragged that he was quote unquote too strong after jumping another teen to unalivement at a Halloween party. Sir, if you look like you're a villain from a John Hughes movie in the 80s and you have resting douche face, attempt to let the douchiness not come out of your mouth, while we still have to presume that you're innocent, okay? Please don't give me any more reasons to make fun of you being an unrepentant douche. You're a kid. I don't want to make fun of you, but you're giving off real douchiness, all right? A high school football player who is the primary suspect in a 16-year-old boy's beating death bragged that he was quote unquote just too strong as he discussed the fatal ramifications of a chaotic Halloween party. Talon Renner, 17, was among 7 young men indicted for first-degree murder and other charges earlier this month, according to KTVK or KPHO. The others were Treston Billy, 18, William Owens Hines, 18, Jacob Meisner, 17, Taylor Sherman, 19, Dominic Turner, 20, and Talon Vigil. Okay, all right. Parents, I'm gonna need you to come close to me. Y'all need to quit it with these names. Treston. Do you know what Treston is gonna have to do for the rest of his life, considering he's probably going to be, in the clinker? People are gonna say, "Preston? No, Treston. My parents were asses." And he's going to have to spell it every time. You've got Talon and Talon. I mean, at this point, with these suspects, if you give your kid a T name, you might wanna, make sure they pay extra good attention to Moral, Oral, and Gallant and Goofus from the Highlights magazines. FFS. The minor defendants are being charged as adults. The police say that the victim, 16-year-old Preston Lord, was badly beaten. Okay, that's how they wrote it. At a Halloween season party on Saturday, October 28th, 2023, he died 2 days later at a hospital. Even before the attack, locals complained about the massive events. The various 911 calls lasted a total of about 40 minutes, according to the newly released police report of more than 1,100 pages in Queen, Arizona, according to KTVK. One person estimated that, quote, at least 250 kids are here, end quote, and another described 30 cars. Another alleged that the kids were armed. A woman said, "We've got kids running with beer bottles. They're hitting each other. We just saw 2 car accidents, and I think the 2 are drunk." Eventually, the neighbors called 911 because a teen had been attacked and was undergoing CPR. A caller claimed that the attackers had ski masks. "I got in a fight, a big group fight, and I accidentally killed a kid," Renner allegedly told another person on Snapchat. "I guess I'm just too strong," Renner allegedly wrote. "Look, sweet, I understand that you are young and you are dumb and you are 17, but do not make dumb statements like that without your lawyer. You have just upped your douchiness level. You make it very hard to defend this as an act of self-defense when you tout that you are just too strong." The attack allegedly started after co-defendant Turner allegedly ripped a gold chain off someone. Messages indicate that apparently more than one person struck Lord. "Straight up, bro, I was drunk, heat of the moment." Hines allegedly said, "I kicked him one time, I kicked his leg," he added, "more like one, two, three kicks, then I started to back off. I hit a kid, then kid hit his head, and then they kicked his head in the ground, then I got word that he died, so IDK," Vigil allegedly sent. "I hit, but so did other people," Renner allegedly told Sherman while leaving the scene. Okay, this sounds like, "All right, kiddos, come over here to Mama Mo, because Mama Mo knows. We don't write down our crimes. We don't text our crimes. We don't brag about our crimes and how we're just so strong that we took, all comers on and we're the badass we always believe in our head. We get a lawyer, and then we apologize to our parents for effing up royally." Oh my gosh. And to the parents of that poor son who passed away, I mean, these comments by these kids have to be salt in the wound of losing their child. And we know, unfortunately, that when kids are or even people are inebriated and you get, a mob mentality, everyone does one little thing. So, yeah, I did this little bit, but then someone else does this little bit, and you end up beating someone straight out of off of the mortal coil. So, just, you know, make sure you talk to your kids about reality, about how, yeah, you teenagers are gonna make dumb mistakes, and you want them to make dumb mistakes, but you also want them to understand that you have to pay for those dumb mistakes. I never expect my teenagers not to mess up, but what I do want them to realize is that there are different levels of messing up. There is messing up where you get grounded, and there's messing up where you take someone else's child out because you're not paying attention in a car. But, you know, I guess parenting be like not like that right now, I guess. Oh, in in terrible justice, don't you feel so sorry for her? I feel terrible for her, her rights. What should we do? A tearful wife of quote unquote migrant influencer who is urging others to invade the US, squat in homes, can't see husband inside Ohio jail. I have a tear right here, and let me look. Well, my room is in shambles right now, but I must have my little jar of F's to give somewhere around here. So when I find that, I will definitely have all the F's to give her, but right now I don't care. The wife of migrant influencer who urged people to invade the US grew emotional Saturday as she revealed she's not allowed to see her jailed husband. Dang it. Veronica Torres was spotted crying outside the Sonesta Simply Suites in Columbus Airport long stay hotel in Guyana, a suburb of Columbus, a day after her husband, Lionel Moreno, was booked into jail. We don't know where they took him. I can't see him, she told the Post. No, he's just squatting in one of our cells, ma'am. It's okay. Don't worry. We will be all fine. Good morning, Flash fan. I am doing fine. I can't give you any more information because I don't know much. Many hotel guests, half of whom are paying guests, said they saw Moreno last week inside the hotel before his arrest and said he just kept to himself. I've seen him here for a week, Chrissy Roll, 30, told the Post. He didn't bother anyone. No, he bothers me sensibly. So he bothers me. And that terrible blonde job he did. Moreno became quite popular online after posting videos to social media encouraging other migrants to invade the country and invoke squatters' rights. In many videos, he waved around loads of cash he claimed was from the government handouts and begging for cash. I didn't cross the Rio Grande to work as a slave, Moreno said in one Instagram clip. I came to the US to mark my territory. You're hurt because I make more than you without much work while you work like slaves, understand? By the time TikTok shut down his account, he had over 500,000 followers. Moreno was picked up by Immigration and Customs Enforcement on Friday and is currently being held at Gallega County Jail, ICE records show. Well, dang it. I guess when you tell people to invade and use our laws against us, we kind of get shitty about it. But ching. The arrest comes after the Post exclusively reported how Moreno had skipped out on ICE soon after crossing the Texas border illegally in 2022. Moreno was placed into the Alternatives to Detention program by Border Patrol and was told to report to Enforcement and Removal Operations Office within 60 days of arriving at his destination, an ICE spokesperson told the Post. Moreno didn't report as required. My shock. On March 29th, 2024, Moreno was arrested in Guyana, Ohio by officers with ERO Detroit's Columbus office and is currently detained pending further immigration proceedings. Gallega's County Sheriff's Scott Hildebrandt, not related to Jody, I hope, confirmed that the migrant is cooling his heels in the Columbus area jail, adding ICE will be coming to get him if he needs to be moved and take him wherever he needs to be taken. With the religious holiday, Hildebrandt said most courts were closed Friday, and it's unclear when Moreno will go to court. Oh, dang it. No sickness. I want no sickness today. If you're going to be in California, the new $20 minimum wage for fast food workers is set to start today. So I should be reasonably assured that if I ever have to go to California, all of my orders will be absolutely correct, right? So if I go to a McDonald's and I say, I would just want, chicken nuggets and this kind of sauce, I'm not going to get a confused person looking at me like the eyes of Sauron, like when they're trying to figure out my change and stuff from a $20 bill, right? We have fixed all these problems, right? I mean, I understand that the ice cream machine won't work still and everything will, I won't expect a McFlurry, but I will expect that my order will be correct, right? Possibly not. Most fast food workers in California will be paid at least $20 an hour beginning Monday. There is a really fun cutout, though, if you notice that Panera is not in the list of fast food workers. Well, turns out that Panera head leader gave a bunch of money to Gavin Newsom's reelection campaign. So somehow Panera is not considered fast food. So for those of you in the know, You can go to the much cheaper Panera workers. With the new law is scheduled to kick in, giving more financial security to historically low-paying profession while threatening to raise prices in a state already known for its high cost of living. Democrats in the state I can speak English. Not today, but someday. Legislator legislature hooked on phonics did not work for me. Passed the law last year in part as an acknowledgement that many of the more than 500,000 people who work in fast food restaurants are not teenagers earning some spending money, but adults working to support their families, which was not the idea of fast food jobs. That includes immigrants like Ingrid Villario, who said she started working at McDonald's shortly after arriving in the United States in 2019. Fast food was her full time job until last year. Now she works about 8 hours per week at Jack in the Box while working other jobs. The $20 raise is great, but I wish it would have come sooner, Vilorio said through a translator, because I would not have been looking for so many other jobs in different places. The law was supported by the trade association representing fast food owners. Seriously? Okay. But since it passed, many franchise owners have bemoaned the impact the law is having on them, especially during California's slowing economy. Alex Johnson owns 10 Aunt Annie's Pretzel and Cinnabons restaurants in the San Francisco Bay Area. Holy God, sir, get out. Get out. It's like 28 days after. We have seen that the zombie apocalypse has happened. GTFO, come to the Midwest. We love Cinnabons. We love carbs of all types. Come here where the people are fluffy and friendly. We may look a little weird, but we are fluffy and generally friendly. We love us some carbs. Bring them Cinnabons right over here to my house. He said his sales have slowed in 2024, prompting him to lay off his office staff and rely on his parents to help with payroll and human resources. Increasing his employees' wages will cost Johnson about $470,000 a year. He will have to raise prices anywhere from 5 to 15% at his store, and is no longer hiring or seeking to open new locations in California. So Cinnabons are, giant cinnamon rolls that I believe have at least your entire week's calories all in this giant cinnamon roll of goodness, and then they top it with legitimately, I think, that much frosting. So, it it is in no way good for you, but those things and then they cook them out in the open air in the mall just to tempt you. So, you know, it's they are in no way good for you. I like homemade cinnamon rolls better, but they do smell really, really good when they cook them, when they're in the middle of cooking them, but they are bad for you. They have all the carbs. I'm sure they have your, lifetime limit of butter and sugar, but oh my gosh. So, again, it's lovely to think that you can give these people extra money. Hi, Thor. But it's not going to help the actual business owners. And then people will be like, hey, why am I paying $75 for, a cinnamon roll? I could make those at home. They're going to fire workers. I hate when you have to be the voice of reason and tell everyone what's going to happen. And then when it does happen, they're like, "Why is this happening? I don't understand. We raised the wages and now all the stuff at McDonald's is more expensive." And it's like, have you heard of this lovely thing called cause meets effect? No. No, we have not. We have not heard of that. It is just not ever gonna happen. And what I can only assume is our answer to that Canadian chick, nurse who unalived a bunch of retirees. This chick, Mr. Symbol, did not deserve to die or to live. What an absolute thunder cow. Nurse facing criminal charges in 17 patients' death, giving a brittle diabetic lethal dose of insulin. I'll have to look up her case, but there was a famous Canadian nurse who used insulin in a very similar manner in retirement homes. So apparently, Pennsylvania now has one because we couldn't let Canada win. A Pennsylvania nurse already facing charges that she administered excessive doses of insulin to dozens of patients, including 17 who died, is accused of giving a 43-year-old brittle diabetic patient a lethal dose after she routinely insulted, berated, bullied, and abused him. With this face, you have a whole lot of Dolores Umbridge energy coming at me. So yes, ma'am, I believe you would hurt others and get pleasure from it. But right now you are allegedly innocent, but you got a whole lot of Dolores Umbridge, like I am better than you and I know all, kind of coming out your eye holes at me. So I know we're supposed to assume you're innocent, but that face says Dolores Umbridge is guilty to me. Heather Presidy is accused of injecting Nicholas Symbol with excessive and lethal dose of insulin last May at Sunnyview Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Butler, Pennsylvania, according to the lawsuit. Why is this a lawsuit and not a criminal thing? The lawsuit documents the events leading up to Symbol's death after the suspicious death of another patient on April 17th, when the lawsuit said Presti then set her sights on Nicholas Symbol, a brittle diabetic who often experienced large swings in his blood glucose levels and required routine insulin administration to maintain his blood sugar. Quote, though Mr. Symbol was well liked by the staff at Sunnyview Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, Presti routinely insulted, berated, bullied, and abused Mr. Symbol. Oh, hell to the no. Ma'am, you are being sent directly to Snake Island, and we give you the F octopus of shame. You can F right off of here with that. We do not abuse people that are in absolutely vulnerable states. We don't do it. You are a cow. Staff at Sunnyview Nursing and Rehabilitation Center were well aware that Presti disliked Mr. Symbol and that she held the belief that people with quality of life like Mr. Symbol do not deserve to live. Now, look, I don't want to do fluffy on fluffy crime, but miss, look, as a person who's working to be healthier, and everyone should, do we wanna talk about quality of life when you are, let's say, just a scotch overweight? You know, how it hurts your back, how you feel lethargic, how you don't feel your best? I mean, Imma say this as nicely as I can as a fellow fluffy person, but we cannot be throwing Oreos at the wall. We have no high horse to stand upon, because the horse said, "Hell no," and walked away, okay? Once Presti even yelled at Symbol in earshot of other Sunnyview staff members to get away from Presti's effing desk when he approached the nurse's station, according to documents. Now, how the hell is this woman still employed? How the hell is this woman still employed? She also routinely called him derogatory names such as the R word about his anoxic brain injury in earshot of Sunnyview staff members, court documents alleged. She is also accused of preventing other nurses at Sunnyview from feeding or providing water to Symbol several times. Um, Look, you look short and you're not my supervisor, so I'm gonna give him what I want. How about that? And how about you use that kind of word in front of someone bigger than you? Ma'am, about to lose my mind over here. Let's see. The lawsuit said that days before Symbol died, Presti allegedly said he was, quote, going to be the next one that to die, and even though staff complained to administrators about it, nothing was done. Of course not. After nursing staff confronted Sunnyview administration with their concerns about Presti's erratic and troubling behavior, Sunnyview allowed her to continue on as unit manager. It's just dumb enough to be real in the year of our clown 2024. It's beyond the pale that no one did anything after Presti made this promise regarding Mr. Symbol, court documents said. Rob Pierce, the managing partner of Rob Pierce and Associates, said that in a statement he's hoping to get answers as to how she was permitted to continue to work at these facilities despite her erratic, disturbing, and abusive behavior. So this might be that they are going after the nursing home because the nursing home definitely did fail in their duty of care, keeping this nurse in a managing position after she, showed herself to be a thunder cow of Dolores Umbridge levels. The more our office has investigated, the more questions we have as to why these facilities allow these tragedies to occur, he said. Sunnyview did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Law and Crime. As Law and Crime has reported, Presti is accused of intentionally administering excessive doses of insulin to 22 patients between 2020 and her arrest last May, according to the state's Attorney General's office. In a news release, Pennsylvania Attorney General Michelle Henry accused her of poisoning 19 patients. In total, 17 of those 19 patients died while in Presti's care, authorities said. Some of the patients, spanning 5 different care facilities, required insulin to treat diabetes, while some of them did not have diabetes. She faces 1 count each of murder of the first and third degree, 3 counts of criminal homicide, 2 counts of criminal attempted murder in the first degree, charges of aggravated assault, neglect of a care dependent person, and reckless endangering another person, court records show. Presti remains in custody at Butler Prison without bail. She has another court hearing set for May the 2nd, according to court docket. Presti allegedly admitted to some of the incidents, but said she was, quote, felt bad for their quality of life and had hoped they would just slip into a coma and pass away. Unless you were born out of the Virgin Mary, it is not your damn choice. Unless you are the parent, child, someone who isn't loved one of this person, then negative Knight Rider. I don't care what you think. You are a nurse. You can give your opinion, but unless you are the Lord Jesus or, a family member, then keep your ideas to yourself. Don't go grabbing for that insulin, for the love of all that is holy. And I think the real problem here is that care facilities and hospitals, we've seen it time and time again in these angel of death sort of cases. If you're deeply into true crime like I am, you see them from all over. The hospitals do not want to get sued for wrongful termination, so they will quietly ask these problem nurses to either resign or quit, but not give the real reason that they were terminated because they're afraid that, it's gonna show liability on the hospital, you know, and we become a litigious society, so if someone wants to get you for wrongful, termination, then you have to pull out, "Well, no, you semi-killed a bunch of people, and we kinda let you." So, there's a lot of these cases. I am waiting on one more thing that should be here by the end of either today or tomorrow to start doing my Judge Mo. It will be a riff on, of course, Sailor Moon. There's Queen Serenity, and then there will be Queen Shenanigans. But so we definitely have a problem where we are turning into a litigious society, and then that is making it easier for these people to go to care home to care home to care home because the hospital doesn't want to show that they aren't doing anything wrong. And the nurses will say, "Well, you fired me for no reason." And then the hospital has to say, "No, you were kind of unaliving a bunch of people." Now, where was the story I wanted? Because I have a good one for the last one, but I was too busy playing with seeing my desk go up and down to put them in the correct order because I'm a genius. Here we go. This is good news to end the day. A five-legged lamb gets a second chance after a Mississippi woman opens her home and heart for rehabilitation. A five-legged lamb named Spider Lamb got a second chance at life after a Mississippi woman took him in just in time for the Easter holiday. Spider Lamb does whatever a spider pig does. Come on. That Simpsons movie put Spider Pig in my head for so long. He's definitely one loved lamb by everyone who sees him, Natalie Renaud told Fox News Digital. Renaud, who is passionate about rehabilitating animals that need a helping hand, said Spider Lamb was in rough shape when she rescued him earlier this week. My vet didn't think he was going to pull through, Renaud said. He was infested with the little maggots. Ugh. He had a bad infection and extremely high fever, but he pulled through. Yay, Spider Lamb! Sorry, Jess. If I have to have it in my head, you get to have it in your head. Renat said the adorable sheep will undergo hernia surgery in April. Unfortunately, the hernia has to be corrected because its intestines are inside his testicles. So that's why they're so massive. So he's not incredibly ballsy. Are those your testicles or is that just your intestine? Well, that is that is the other thing. There you go. Renault explained, it's not something he can live with for a while. We scheduled his surgery for the end of April to let it heal completely so he'll be healthy for his hernia surgery. The little lamb is now spending his days on Renault's 40-acre farmland in Biloxi, learning how to navigate life with all five legs. His fifth leg will stay, Renault said. It doesn't get in his way at all. Renault said she began rehabilitating animals like Spider Lamb 7 years ago. It started off with cats first, then with farm animals. Poor Renault's husband were just like, look, she brought home some cats, and all of a sudden there's a donkey out back and a little horse, and I don't even know. I just live here. I just live here. She said helping animals is one of the most rewarding things. It's stressful, it's depressing, it's losing a lot of sleep, but it's also the most rewarding thing to give up your time to give an animal an opportunity to live. So there you go. Spider Lamb is gonna be okay, and he's gonna get his intestines put back where they're supposed to be, and hopefully his little twiglets will stay. I don't know. I'm not a doctor vetologist. I don't know if they take both out, all the same. But there you go. We need to end with something nice. I will be sending you guys over to Baker. I think he's starting a new trial today. I believe it is about, well, heck, I don't really know, but it's a trial. Hopefully, it's not about children. for the love of all that is holy. But I hope you guys have a great April 1st. And just a thought out there, and I don't think anyone in my chat would do it, but fake pregnancy announcements aren't the most classy thing. There are a lot of people struggling with infertility, and the fake pregnancy announcements aren't so cool. Anything else, I'm totally game. Prank me anywhere. I just find those a little sad for people that I know that have been struggling and they struggle on this day, so just putting it out there. Sorry, audio coffee. I want a spider lamb. I don't want a spider pig. But, Baker the Broken Baker, he is from Denmark, and he, does full trial commentary, so he and Jamie usually watch a full trial. I might pop in there from time to time. I don't have with my kiddos, I don't have the full time to watch an entire trial, but I will go in and pop out sometimes. But he will do an entire trial. And then I think we're getting close to Sarah Boone shenanigans and Donna Adelson. And you guys should be sent directly over once I end this stream. So you guys should be sent right over. So I will let you guys go, and then it should direct you directly over there. And if you don't wanna watch that, I'm sure there are a bunch of other people that are doing other fun streams, so thanks for joining me as I learn to use my new stand-up, sit-down desk. And, with the very, very bestest office furniture ever. Have a great day, guys.